Hey, check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. DJ Cass on the motherfucking ones and twos. Oh, my controller's not on. That would probably help me in navigating this menu here. Hey, whoever's in here currently. I know a couple people in here currently at the very least. Decided to see what would happen if I just decided, out of absolutely nowhere, just to start up a little stream. Play through a little bit of Doom 3DO. And, don't want to suffer in silence. I don't want to suffer alone. I need to drag other people down with me when I make these bad decisions. And that's where you all come in. It's been a minute since we streamed. I didn't get Mara on the horn for this, but we'll return to duo streaming in a bit, I'm sure. But this is all me for right now. So what you see is what you get, and what you hear is unfortunate. This is Doom on 3DO, the Art Data Interactive published, Logicware developed, and by Logicware I mean one woman, Rebecca Ann Heineman. Let's let these credits roll for a minute, so you can see where these deviate from the classic id title screens. So far, so good. Though, that said, those are the Doom 2 credits. I think there's some names on there that weren't necessarily involved in Doom 1, but this came out in 95. There's Randy Scott, who Rebecca kindly informed me is now in jail for molesting a child. So in case you ever wondered where the brains behind Art Data Interactive and this conversion came from, oh, there you go. I did, in fact, interview Rebecca Ann Heineman, and we had a lovely talk, and that'll be posted soon enough. I've played up to level 20. I've been playing in Ultraviolence. Do I have the big screen sizes unlocked? I think I do. You have to enter a cheat code because they were planning ahead for the 3DO M2 that never came out. So you can unlock a cheat to unlock the full screen size. Oh no, I don't have that enabled right now. This is the standard resolution. This is what we should be playing at. This is how we're going to get the best trade-off between performance and resolution in this particular case. And yes, first thing you may notice about this, besides the visual elements, is the audio. The soundtrack recorded by Randy Scott and co. And I will be looking at chat, by the way. I will be taking questions about this game, about any game from the audience, about anything bad game related. And I'll be checking that intermittently. But for now, I'm just going to do my best to let my muscle memory of classic Doom get me half the way there, hopefully. Everyone who ever said how great the soundtrack is usually referring to this track. There's okay tracks for the rest of this game. Alt F4 games, Derv as I know them. How good am I at circle strafing on console? That's a good question, Apollo. I guess I just haven't found much reason to do it because the frame rates are so slow that I just haven't felt the need to. I'm usually first to fire. I'm usually not having to do much work to dodge anything in this version of the game. Also, weapons all have their fire speeds adjusted to some capacity, so... I'll tell you what, I'm not going to be going for all secrets in this, but, you know, it's E1M1. I'd be remiss not to do everything there is to do in at least E1M1, for Christ's sakes. I gotta show the folk out there that I'm coming equipped with some prior knowledge of this game. You have to hold down a button to run, so my finger is always on the C button, which I have mapped to square on the old DualShock 4 that I use to play basically everything. Does that chain effect? Yeah, that chain affects that barrel at least. Inside. So, something I was talking to Rebecca about. I'm name-dropping her like I'm some Fucking, like I have any industry cred whatsoever. Yeah, me and my old pal Becky, you know, we go way back. But, we were talking about how, for as bad as this performance is, like, think about the fact that people were playing on IBM DOS compatibles at the time, that the original Doom experience for most people was on PC, still something probably pretty similar to this, unless they were coming equipped with some decently spec'd systems. How did that shotgun guy teleport behind me? Don't see any technical reason why Doom has to run with some 3DO, so I'd be interested if anybody in the Doom community tried making a best-case scenario of Doom. Well, I can... Okay. Here's what I'm going to do real quick, just for you, Video Game King. There is such a thing as a best-case scenario. Let's overclock the CPU. Oh, never mind. This is clearly affecting the run speed. I thought this was just going to work immediately, but you can see it smoothed out at the very least. Let's turn that back down. There's also a gimmick by the name of Phoenix Doom, which, because Rebecca Ann Heineman dumped all the source code to this, she put it up on GitHub a while back, someone reverse engineered that to create Phoenix Doom, which is effectively like a best case scenario of this, where you get full fat performance and so on and so forth. There's a couple things I don't like. It fixes... You'll notice if you look at any enemy in this game, they have full brights on all the time, so they're all clearly visible even against dark backgrounds. So that's an error. That's a rendering error. That enemies should not be as bright as they are. Ooh, there we go. That's the first barrel in my face of this playthrough. The first of many, I'm sure. So they try to make it the best version possible, but really what I want is just a version that runs natively on PC with this frame rate, at least as a toggle. And for those who don't know, this is sourced heavily, if not entirely, from the Atari Jaguar version of Doom. That Rebecca Ann Heineman basically had to beg id for the source code so she could put this version of the game together in 10 weeks' time, starting from scratch. There's a whole story there. Maybe I'll get into bits and pieces of that when I'm more in the rhythm of things. 21 viewers ain't bad. Like I said earlier, for those just joining, I wanted to see if I can get any viewers whatsoever on absolutely zero notice. No warning. Complete random pick of a game. Or not random, I am planning on writing an article about this soon, but just see who the fuck would show up with something like this, and y'all did not disappoint. We got some real nerds in this audience. What, none of you have work today? None of you have... maybe I shouldn't make fun of my audience too hard. But I mean, that's half the gimmick of this whole bad game thing I do, so... the hardcores know. Ooh, this is where the frame rate's really getting dicey, because the second I hit the strafe button, there's momentum that kind of locks you into it, so even if you put it on for one frame, it can send you, like, 3 or 4 frames worth of distance, which makes, like, coming in and out of cover, like standing behind doors, the classic Wolf 3D tactic, if you will, a kind of dicey prospect, because you'll often overshoot, fall off staircases, what have you. Let me read the chat a bit. This game was meant to run like this for computers. Smaller is better, so since reason lower frame rates are better. Yeah, no, that's perfect logic. Considering they got every angle of the enemies, yes, this is a big thing, that this game does have more than, how do I phrase this? That is the question. More than just forward-facing enemies, which the Super NES version infamously has, so that you immediately activate enemies the second you come into their space because they only have a forward-facing. In, proper versions of Doom, you can rotate behind them or approach them from behind and kind of catch people off guard. But, SNES version did not benefit from that. This switch is very important. We'll see how long I can get through this without dying, too. Because I would... As much as I'm used to pistol starts... Video Game King, Jaguar version of Doom does not just have forward-facing enemies. It couldn't possibly, because this version of the game is based directly on that version. And so if Jaguar Doom only had forward-facing enemies, so would this, just by the... you know, the merit of being copied directly from that source code. And GBA, does GBA have multi-facing enemies? Now that's a question. Avera Paz, 1992. Yeah, I've played Gloom. Gloom Deluxe, even. There's been a few attempts to make something like a Doom-like for hardware that's just far more ill-equipped. There was a few other first-person shooters on Amiga that none of them were particularly good, because why the fuck would they be? It's Amiga. No shade to Amiga fans, but y'all are, y'all backed the wrong horse on that one. I have no particular Amiga love, is the sad truth of things. I don't know how many people that is disappoint in the audience, but, come on. Come on, walk into it. How do I switch weapons in this? That is the question. I think it's hold use key and then shoulder buttons. Yeah, just give me back a shotgun, please. I should mention that, you know, this is the first video game I ever played. Not this version, specifically, but some version of Doom on some sort of DOS compatible. Back in 1993 or 4, somewhere in the early 90s. As the legend goes, a babysitter installed it on my mom's computer, and it was all downhill from there. The Death Ferret is a Brit who was around the late 80s to the mid-90s, bad-mouthing Amiga is sacrilege. Yeah, well, you know what? I'm an American, damn it, and I can tell you limeys whatever the fuck I want. I don't know, I'm in a mood today, I guess. Barnaby's Lumpkins, that's the game. Any true Brit knows that the three games are Sensi, IK Plus, and Barnaby's Lumpkins. You Yanks just don't... You just don't have any taste. You just don't know what it is to be a proper micro connoisseur. I've played, by the way, in case I need to somehow justify myself here, I've played enough British micro games, or, you know, I should probably just say, you know, British computer games. I've played the ones that count, the ones that matter, the ones that get hoisted, held up, so on and so forth. Yes, Advanced Lawnmower Simulator, exactly. So I've seen the best there is to offer on the old Specky and so forth. Alright, let's get out of this level. I got the chainsaw. I did not need to go for 100% enemy kills in this. Great games like Squidge. Yeah, no, we're listing off all the classics right now. Human Killing Machine. Highlander. Where's some other good ZX Spectrum games? And there's a viewing area, just to get that secret. Is this even a counted secret? I think it might be. I never played those games on Amiga, but Sensible Soccer and Cannon Fodder, both on Genesis, both on British software. Yeah. When you put them on a console that, like, works. Am I right, guys? When you put them on some real hardware. Bitmap Bros. So on and so forth. That's enough about British computers. You know, if the British computers couldn't run this, then what good were they? Doom on Amstrad CPC. conversion no one wanted. You know what bothers me? This is just a total tangent, total, me being sore just about how people don't understand what the words conversion or port mean. Doom, whenever you see that Doom on graphing calculators bullshit, and people are like, someone converted Doom for the TI-86, man! Doom really does run on everything. And it's just like, yeah, someone made like a cool little homebrew thing that vaguely resembles Doom. That is not porting Doom. That's not even converting Doom. That is doing a proof of concept. That is doing a fun little hobby project. I feel like people just kind of miss the point. I feel like the it can run Doom phenomenon is kind of overblown as it is. And it gets mixed up in so much bullshit. And people, like, take these absolutely extreme examples of stuff that is not Doom, that is demonstrably not actual Doom, but, like, again, like, graphing calculator version of it. And they'll try to, like, you know, one-up that by saying, I ran my calculator off this, off 100 potatoes, and I plugged them into my calculator, so I have Doom running on potatoes. And at some point, it's just like... That's a real video, by the way. I was not just pulling that out of my ass. It's an actual thing that I've had recommended to me on the YouTube front page, like, 100 fucking times. I'm also going to, shit-talk some people that I work with right now. Don't let this get back to my good friends Derek and Grace of Stop Skeletons from Fighting, who I write scripts for, but I have taken personal issue with the way they toss around the word ports and use it in place of everything when conversion would do just as nicely. I've actually talked to them about that, and the way they describe to me is just like, yeah, people don't respond to the word conversion as much as they do to ports. It's like purely a like video keyword search algorithmic thing. And I've tried to like put that word in scripts, and I've seen it corrected in later drafts to be port. And there's a part of me, like there's a small part of me that just like dies a little bit inside every time. That's just like, you're not using the word the right way. But time will prove that I am the loser on that, that my semantics don't fucking matter, and what matters is ultimately what gets people interested in the idea of like games getting moved from console to console. Because there's a lot of interesting technical details to that, and licensing details, and a lot of interesting stories to be told in general, but when you get locked into semantics and choice of word, in the way that I am very prone to do, it just slows the process down, and it makes it less accessible for people who are maybe not as well-versed in technical jargon and so forth. To the average Joe, there is no difference between a conversion and a port, and what does it matter what the difference is? I am a dying breed in this stupid cottage industry we've created. For covering games, for covering old games, and ridiculous amounts of detail and specificity. Looking at chat again real quick. Guess my gripe with them is more distinction between displaying Doom through, for example, Task Manager, and actually running the code for Doom on Task Manager. One is significantly more demanding than the other. Yeah. Where's the secret here? There is this... I just want to... I'm not going for all secrets, but I know for a fact there is a secret somewhere in this room. I think there's like a spot I have to trigger running here, and then it should open up a door. There we go. Because I want that rocket launcher. When I play Doom at this point, for fun, for leisure, or for, you know, purposes of this article, let's say, the only secrets I'm really interested in are the ones that give me early access to weapons, or if I need to, like, quickly fill up health on something. But otherwise... Or if it's a fun one, if it's a particularly fun one to show off and be like, where the hell did you... How the hell did you wind up here sort of reaction. but no one's really surprised by Doom anymore. Like, I'm sure people here watching, I would like to imagine that all of you have played Doom. I would assume that all of you have played Doom in some capacity at some point. And the novelty here is not watch cast show this new and unseen game to you, but is more just like, man, how poorly can a game run? The Adamant Art Trial. Yeah, you maybe played a round or two of Doom in your lifetime with a name like that. Magic Mouse. Yeah, Doom came out in 2016, so you've had like 5 years to play Doom for yourself now. As you can know, this is a real demake. This is a really scaled back version of that. Man, we are losing a lot of sound effects in this for pretty obvious reasons. That's in the game, of course, itself. Of course, this is what happens when you only have so many audio channels. Ooh, am I gonna die because I got snuck up on by a pinky? Ooh, this is gonna be dicey. Well, I can always do this. I just can't imagine myself dying too early in this. I may fuck up on E1M8, M9. Which is the one where you fight the Barons of Hell for the first time, where that's the big set piece of the... Look, I love Doom, but I don't memorize map names. I don't memorize map numbers correlated to, like, what maps they are. I just know, like, what level comes next. Like, that is always the way I've compartmentalized this stuff, is like, oh, I'm on E1M2 right now, or E1M3, rather. So I know what level I'm going into next. Did I miss the secret warp already? I think the secret warp was in E1M2, or no, it should be this map. Yeah, I also forget where the secret warps are. There's only one in this game. They got rid of all the secret maps across all the episodes except for the one that's connected to whichever one in this. Oh, you know what? Wait, hold on. No, that didn't happen. I'm gonna cheat here, just because I don't want to get black flagged on the last lap. But again, momentum. This is some classic Monster Closet bullshit. But that's alright, I'm here for it. This is why we pick up the rocket launcher. But yeah, I think I'm approaching the secret exit. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry, you're not going to see the normal way this ends. I'm just gonna... Oh, come on, there we go. Yeah, this will take us to military base. But yeah, this is the only secret level that remains intact in this version of the game. And there's also a few of the boss maps, like E2M8, where you first face off against the Cyber Demon. I'll have you know that they swapped that out for some map, some completely different map that I don't remember the name of offhand. Maybe we'll see it, maybe we'll figure that out. This is where the frame rate really gets good. This is where we really start cooking. Love that open sky, that open air map. I love what it does for the performance. This is like a very geometrically simple area, but, you know, you just populate with a few enemies. Video Game King saying less frames per second, more seconds per frame. No, that's unfair. Well, let's be fair to the game here. We are getting more than 1 frames per second. This is something like 5 to 10 on average. Rowan, amazing that this shit was even remotely passable back in the day, but we absolutely lose our minds at crap with GTA Remastered and Cyberpunk now. Yeah, you know. I would say it was better back in the day in terms of, you know, expectations being lower than that, lower. And you know, I'm also someone who, I do value fluidity more than fidelity. If you give me a game and tell me it can look like the most realistic thing ever invented, the most realistic simulator ever developed on high settings, but I only get 30 frames per second, or it can look a little less than polished at 60, I'll take the 60, thank you very much. But I can still go back to this and be like, this isn't the end of the world. Nope, I went backwards. I meant to go... I went forwards. I went to go backwards in my inventory. Use up a couple rockets. Oh, you snuck up on me, Pinky. The bass in this song is great, for what it's worth. You can really hear that shit slap. And I do mean slap bass in this case. Let's go back to shotgun. Oh, right, no, that's right, this is where the Berserk pack is. Might as well demonstrate it a little bit. Is that the first Berserk pack in the game that you can theoretically find? I think it might be. Oh, wait, no, yellow key, so I go this way? And it should be left? No, right. I think they make some sort of tweaks to the AI for this version. For the Jaguar version, maybe, even. Because clearly there are enemies who are giving me a lot of space, a lot of leeway, a lot of time to react, let's say. Oh! Right, should probably have had a gun equipped for this, because Berserk Pack can help me much here. I don't think there's a secret wall here. I'm double checking just to be sure. Oh, wait, is it I stand on one of these? Or something? There's something in this room that I'm not gonna find out. I'm not gonna stick around to find out. Ooh, that elevator. That is like some hotel elevator shit. Waiting for it to come down from the 5th floor. No, barrel. Hit the barrel. Thank you. Again, allow me just a moment to express my amazement at the idea of people willingly watching this. What am I going to do with my afternoon? What am I going to do with 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I'm not working today. Well, what I'll do is I'll watch some dumbass on the internet play Doom, but at 5 frames per second. Nothing more. I'm always just baffled as the content creator who does not really watch too much in the way of other content creators in the game space at this point. Is one of my other dirty secrets. It's like, why would I watch people play video games when I can watch people cook food instead? That is 90% of my YouTube viewing at this point, and I don't regret it. Can I bait them out so I can actually use these barrels for something? Nope, that is an impenetrable barrel barrier. Because I'm looking for the red key card. Or not red, blue. Video Game King. It occurs to me that there may be people watching this at work. Well, you know, John Romero did say that Doom would be the #1 office productivity killer of 1993. And boy, howdy, was he right. Watch me. How many times am I gonna miss that key? Because oh, whoopsies. No, up. I didn't grab the key. Alright. So the mission is to grab that blue key. How closely can I line up the crosshair? And will I pick it up when I run over it? Yes, okay. We got it on the second try. It's not a guaranteed thing. Now, where was that secret door I somehow found? This corner here. Okay. Could do some chain gun ammo to be sure. And sure, give me 2 more armor. Oh, I'm stuck on collision. That's no good. I want to see what's on this side, though. There is some sticky collision in this, to be sure. Alright, so we're looking for that blue. Being pointed out in the chat, people talk about how the music makes the 3DO version less scary. I mean, was Doom ever scary? Is the real question. I'm sure it was to, like, 3-year-old me when I first played it. But, I don't know, I feel like Doom's scariness was never, like, a massive thing. Maybe Final Doom, I guess, where it actually has appropriately moody lighting, so on and so forth. Can I just run across this? Yeah, sure can. Doom 64 also, yes, I'm mentioning. A lot of console versions had no music at all. Yeah, including that Atari Jaguar version, infamously. Oh, wait, no, not a lot of versions. That's the only version that didn't have music. Oh, that and maybe GBA Doom maybe didn't have music. If I remember correctly, I think Doom GBA would have had like a fart soundtrack, but they disabled it at the last minute. Or something like that. Am I thinking Wolfenstein 3D on GBA? There is some id Tech 1, id Tech 2, whatever. You know, there is some Doom or Wolfenstein engine FPS on GBA that does not have music, but you can re-enable it using cheats, and it sounds just straight good is what it sounds like. Which way do I go? This way? Left, I think? Yeah, rockets. Okay, cool. That's the one I want. I think the other side maybe has a radiation suit? That switch just controls that. You know, fuck it. Let's just... 32X1 is the one fart. Yes, that's the one that infamously has enabled soundtrack that is just farts. But then there's another one. There is another game, I think. It might be Wolfenstein 3D. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's Wolfenstein 3D on GBA. Which has a disabled soundtrack, but has had its music unearthed. Jaguar had to run the game logic and music off the CPU or something, so running both simultaneously would have killed the performance. It's also why you only hear music on the loading screens in that version. Contributes Video Game King, yes. That was the, I made a tweet the other day. It was some video game birthday. It was Trevor McFur in the Crescent Galaxy a couple days ago. And I noted how it began the trend. As a launch title for the Jaguar, it foretold how most Jaguar games would not, in fact, have music. Because most developers would use that memory space just to run game code instead. They would just try to milk as much performance as possible out of the system. Carmen, Magic Meows. Definitely not my roommate. Definitely not a person I know personally. Mentioned that Jack had no dedicated sound hardware. I don't know if that's true. Like, I think my explanation of it had sound hardware, it had a sound processor, but it was frequently reutilized or done away with in order to do other stuff with the memory might be correct. I could be wrong on that. Debate me in the field of debate, in the field of intellectuals. Alright, we should be... Is this upstairs? Or have I... Oh, this is the maze, isn't it? Well, here's a good time to bring up the auto map. If I remember how... There we go. Yeah, that's use key and start button. Which is a little tricky to do on a DS4. Because, you know, start select or rather share in options. Like this post if you remember when they used to call these selected starts. Am I right, guys? Wait, why am I going this way again? I'm looking for something here. There's a reason I'm up here. This is what happens when you get turned around in Doom. And also, these wall textures are not the original level wall textures, if I remember correctly. I think with the Jaguar version of Doom and all derivatives thereof, I think some of the changes made to the levels incorporated Doom 2 textures. And also got rid of some original textures, so there is a slight disconnect, even in the best of conditions, even when you're not playing it at 5 frames per second on a 3DO. There is still some amount of familiarity, but, like, your memories being slightly changed. And there's also, you know, more major changes to level geometry, like missing stairs, missing platforms, missing pillars, that sort of stuff. Things that just drag that performance down ever so much, and were stripped accordingly. But, you know, for what it's worth, it's Doom. More or less. And that is ultimately the, when I get back to writing that article, ultimately the argument I'm going to try to make is that this isn't too bad, right? For someone's first time playing Doom. If this was the first you ever played a Doom, if you spent, like, the better part of 2 years only owning consoles, not having access to a dedicated computer that could run this sort of thing, and this comes out, and you finally have a chance to play this thing you've been eager to play for, lo, those many years, you'll fucking hop at the opportunity to do it, and you'll enjoy it, because you can't fuck up Doom too badly. And again, like, computers of the time, actual era-appropriate computers, people pointing out that, yes, the 3DO was, like, super expensive, so someone who can afford a 3DO and not a computer, you know, it's $750, whereas the Jaguar was, what, like $149? I remember Carmack got on Usenet at some point. I found the posts from back in the day where Carmack basically foretold, like, 3DO is gonna fucking die because who the hell is gonna spend $700 on a console? He was pledging his support to the Atari Jaguar. And of course, the real conclusion, what actually ended up happening is that both consoles died because, Jesus Christ, look at the state of them. But for what it was worth, Carmack did totally call the 3DO not having a tangible, like a tenable price point. See that yellow key card. Didn't the 3DO company release a version of 3DO you could plug into your computer? Yes, and I think someone in the chat addressed that. Yeah, made by Creative, thank you. You know what it was wild for me to discover while researching, not for this Doom article, it was the Super Monkey Dieboken article we just wrote, discovering that the MSX2, or not even the MSX, was it the MSX1, had that fucking Laserdisc peripheral that you could just plug a Laserdisc player into your computer, and then it would stream that shit in the background of other games. And so that's what the Super Monkey Dieboken developers used in their previous game, Rolling Blaster, to do a shmup that had, like, cutting-edge 3D visuals going on in the background, and the most simple shmup ever created in the foreground layer. By the way, if this was the original release of this here game, this weird shape on the floor would be a little dicier. Take a random guess with John Romero. What shape John Romero would have originally invoked with that. Is this staircase connected yet? Did I do the prerequisite to it? I could just do that. When in doubt, just fucking speed strafe it out. There was some switch somewhere, but I was in that level way out of sequence, way out of rotation. Here it is. Arguably the most famous level in Doom in my mind, because it's the first one that a demo plays for when you start the game up. Durv saying, Sandy Pearson said in a video that swastika was there by mistake. However, he had nothing to say about the Wolf 3D level, which is a big swastika. Well, first of all, he didn't have anything to do with Wolf 3D. So, you know, it wasn't his thing to address. Secondly, Sandy Pearson gets shit wrong all the time. John Romero absolutely put that swastika in intentionally as an homage to Wolfenstein 3D. Hi, Sandy. Hope you're doing well. By the way, you're wrong. You know what's great about interviewing Rebecca Ann Heineman, developer of this conversion, who I know personally now, go way back, is that she also has hyperthymesia, which John Romero also has, and hyperthymesia being that ability to recall details as if like you were there in that moment. It's not quite a photographic memory, as both of them will say in interviews when they're made to address it, but their level of recall is just incredible. So obviously Rebecca has like exhaustive documentation and recall for everything she's ever done. She remembers the code to her games, for Christ's sakes. But you know, I mention that because John Romero has had to correct the record on Doom so many times. There's a running gag on Twitter, for those who don't know, between Sandy and John Romero, where Sandy will attempt to say some detail about Doom's development because people will ask him, and then he will get something wildly fucking wrong, and then John Romero will quote retweet him saying, "Hi Sandy, hope you're having a good day. By the way, this is completely incorrect. You have no idea what you're talking about. I was there. I have perfect recall. Here's what actually happened." But, you know, two sides to every story. So happens that one is right and one is wrong. Detonate that barrel, even though it'll... Oh, I got out of there in time. Oh, no. Oh, come on. Well, it's a good thing there's a secret door here, because I overshot that ledge. It's a nice little top-off zone, too. Rumor that time some guy come to have invented the concept of multiplayer maps with Quake, and Romero called him out on it and gave the credit to the community as well as Rise of the Triad. Yes, that stirs up a memory in me. I do seem to recall that. Though if you really want to get pedantic, the MIDI maze, I do recall MIDI maze predates many of these games, and had that LAN multiplayer and maps you could play on. Though I guess, you know, I'm assuming that when they say multiplayer maps, they're talking about something like very specifically, like maybe like multiplayer maps in a game that has a single player campaign, or some specificity of that sort. Is this the room I remember? This one with the acid pit on the right, then the door on the left, and the so on and so forth. Yep, okay. And Faceball 2000, of course, says Death Ferret. Now, let's not get it twisted. I appreciate your gag, but let's, you know, let Mama Cass step in to be a pedant about this. Faceball 2000 is a remake of MIDI Maze and did not release in the year 2000. Released in like 1991, I think. Could be wrong about that. let's use the suit. I'm skipping the secret door in there for a second because I'm gonna quickly solve this. Oh, I'm gonna get hit with that explosive barrel? No, okay. That fireball hit it, like, directly. I think it might take 2 fireballs to set off the barrel, though. As long as y'all are here, as long as I have some real diehard fans in here who would show up to a stream like this, and thank you for it. Something I'm going to complain about on Twitter is, you know, I do the bad game birthdays. I enjoy doing it. It's fun for me. It's fun to share these weird games with people and weird bits of trivia about them when I can. It's also a great way to promote my articles. I wouldn't be lying. I'd be lying if I didn't address that or say that. But what you'll get on Twitter are people who feel a need to contribute without contributing anything, or worse yet, contributing wrong information. I reposted Elf Bowling the other day, and someone forwarded the anecdote about how Endstorm did not approve licensing for this game before they made the conversions of it. And I had to just... They did, like, some quote retweet. They were trying to, like, draw some attention to themselves, get some free clout off of it. And, you know, here at the Bad Game Hall of Fame, no free clout. Is there anything to this secret? Is there anything on... Oh, is it on this side? Is this just pointless? No, there's gotta be something here. Okay, we're troubleshooting this for a second. This might be a chute door? Or maybe it's just a way to see those enemies in advance and deal with them in advance. I don't know. I don't remember everything about Doom. I don't have perfect map recall. There's a fear, but it seems to be missing. Good recall on your part. And that would parse. I think there is a type of sphere they removed from this. Not the invisibility sphere, or maybe it is the invisibility sphere and there's still the blur sphere. There's something like that. So... Anyway, I flipped that switch, right? Anyway, what was I saying? What was I complaining about? What was I whinging about? Oh yeah, people on Twitter who try to share video game facts and get them wrong. I got the hazard suit, and I did it to go into that room. I was doing the dance around the green ooze. Toxic waste, that can't be good. So on, so forth. Insert your other Doom references here. Hey! If I walk on this, is this a teleport? Yeah. Well, let's not walk on that then. Nope. I have to stop my momentum. The momentum in this is more extreme than it is in Doom proper on PC and what have you, so you have to be very careful when you're moving in any given direction. I do not want to warp back to the beginning of the level. I'm going to have to because I don't have the blue keycard, so I can't go further that away. Where is the yellow door? Because I know I just did that whole thing. Yeah, prepare for a little bit of wandering. Here we go. Wait, no, this is where we just were. I'm not gonna look up a guide, I'm not gonna cheat, I'm gonna figure this out. Even though I should just know this. It's only been 30 years of playing this fucking game. I can figure out how to beat E1M5. So, yellow key here. Is there a second? No, it's through there. Hey, okay. So if I had gone out the door the right way, rather than using the teleport, Averapaz 1992 about that Elf Bowling. Nintendo DS has a lot of very good games, a lot of filler too. I would say to that, you're right, of course, but that Elf Bowling conversion, specifically, and it is a conversion, is a detail that gets lost a lot in coverage of that. check out badgamehalloffame.com. It's a goofy little website where there's a whole article up on Elf Bowling on there about the history of the entire franchise and how those junk-ass conversions came to be, how the studio got cheeky and decided they could try to profit off a shareware game. And that is about as low as the library gets on both GBA and DS. You don't see shit that slapdash so much anymore. I guess you do. I guess you have all these Unity games now. You're still dealing with the aftermath of Steam Greenlight going away and anything and everything just going up on there. The Death Fair. What kind of weirdo would write a whole article about Elf Bowling? Yeah, it would take a real sick puppy, if you ask me. It would take a real loser to write 10,000 words plus about some fucking fringe Flash game that got some completely, like, unnoteworthy GBA DS conversion, and to make a whole stinking deal about that. Why, personally, if I saw someone like that, I'd shove them in a locker. Nerd that they are. Sir Spectre, yeah. Let me live. I thought I was going to get a chain reaction out of that, but all these barrels are spaced just far enough apart. If you think writing an article about Elf Bowling is sick and twisted and demented, just wait till you see some of the other articles I've written games about. That Cassidy character, I tell you what. Well, if I ever saw them, boy howdy, wedgie and a half. Swirly for good measure. We just can't let nerds like this get away with it. Am I actually gonna get fucked up here? Nope, okay. I'm not even gonna deal with the enemy outside. It's, let's just clear the level. I don't know why, I've never liked this level. All the previous levels I've enjoyed well enough in my time with Doom. Don't even remember the name of this level. But this level's recurring theme is just a bunch of walkways, barren rooms that are just like, here's toxic ooze, and here's path. Don't fall off, and that's especially tricky in this version of the game, but generally just not a particularly exciting design element in even the best case scenario. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, for funsies. Let's try lowering the screen size a little bit. Let's really get some performance out of this. This must be awesome to watch. Because at least I have the benefit of like an actual full-screen display. Of 2,560 pixels by 1440. So this thumbnail's at least like 640 by 480. I don't know. So y'all let me know, would you rather I play the rest of it like this? Or go back to the full frame? That'll be the hot subject of debate in the chat for the next several minutes. And then I will promptly ignore whatever you want and do whatever I think is funnier. Does it go any smaller? No, I went right down to the lowest. I went down to as small as it goes. Wow. I think there's like... there we go. this way. Give me armor, please. I should show how unplayable the full screen cheat is. Says Magic Meows. Yeah, I suppose so, right? Doom 1 pixel by 1 pixel challenge. I'm sure there's some proper nerds out there who can... I mean, if you can play this game blindfolded, you can play it with, like, 1 pixel resolution, right? Right, this is the way. There's some GIF that I can't vet by clicking on it at the moment, but I'll trust that it's appropriate and probably even relevant to the situation at hand. Still a yellow keycard events. How long have I been playing this? This has been an hour of this already? Jeezy Louise, guys. Oh, I don't have a yellow key. What the fuck am I doing? Also, is that texture misaligned? Not on this side. Yeah, those monitors that are half sinking to the ground. I know you can really tell at this resolution. But, oops, someone got fired for this blunder. Alright, let me look up the cheat that will give me the full screen, the full screen experience. Now enjoy the music in the meantime, I suppose. Extra trees, guys, is... Okay, I gotta hold B, press P to access the map. Do it on the map. Let's hope that no one bites my ass in the meantime. Reveal entire map. Right. Up, right. L, up, right, right, R. A, left. In that sound of thunder. Alright. Here we fucking go, guys. It's not too terrible in this room. But let's get some enemies on screen. Can't be too far away, it is Doom. And honestly, it's not that much worse than what was happening at the default full screen size. I think we're losing like one more frame. What the real problem is that I think there's screen tearing that gets introduced a little bit, and also that it becomes that much harder to aim losing that one frame. Frame rates are slow, even a couple frames is pretty significant. I mean, that's a matter of perspective, isn't it? I feel like, you know, if I'm down to 3 frames per second, then I'm not gonna care too much whether it's 2 or 3. But I don't know. Maybe that's just glass half empty. Okay, fuck those guys. I'm just gonna kill them the long way. I want that shotgun ammo. Right. Flip that. What door does that activate? One on my left, one on my right. It's gotta activate something. It is a switch after all. Oh, I'm gonna overshoot that a couple more times. Cool. Then they have the hazard suit on. Fuck me, what does that open? Oh, it must open this or something, right? Anyway, there's the yellow key. Can I just run out this window? Yes. Open sesame. Oh, I have a feeling this is going to be great for the performance right here. How much chain gun ammo? Yeah, I'll take that. Sega Genesis has some shooters like Zero Tolerance, Bloodshot, even a port of Duke Nukem. These single frames. All those had decent enough performance, if I remember correctly. I think Zero Tolerance might be the diciest out of all those. But, you know, those are also developed with the benefit of having chips inside the cartridge that facilitate not 3D acceleration per se, but, yeah, that one level in Toy Story, which was originally going to be a level in Mickey Mania. And yeah, thank you, Carmen, for being the pet into my place. I thought about saying it after the rant I went on earlier, after the real tear I went on. But no, it's a conversion of the second episode of Duke Nukem, is what it was intended by, and that's a tech toy banger. So the Brazilian company that supported the Mega Drive for straight decades after the fact, that they still sell those plug-and-play consoles. Look forward to a video from Stop Skeletons from Fighting on their masterpiece, the Zeebo, coming eventually. Come on, Derek and Grace, where's it at? It's not like you guys have 1,000 other scripts at any moment in time that you have to produce. But damn it, I want the world to see the research I did on the Zeebo. Gotta let folk know about Brazil. Gotta tell them about this crazy country that they never heard of. I have 46 fucking rockets. Let's have a party. Is this optimal? Absolutely not. Alright. Let's just end the level. I think there's a couple other side doors that can go down if I really wanted to. Grab some items, but... Alright, no, this isn't even the end of the level, that's right, yeah! Is there a door on this side of the room, too? No, I think there's like something tucked away in the corner there, but who cares? We're playing it like 5 frames per second. Every extra second I spend in any given map is like agony. It's not really agony. I've played worse than this. I've played worse versions of Doom than this. Like when I first played it on the DOS compatible that I mentioned before, this is probably what it looked like more or less, and I didn't know about screen sizes. I didn't realize that you could just shrink that shit down to eke out a few more frames. I was like 4, and I thought big screen is better. More graphics, more better. And I was right. And the moral of the story is never, ever grow up or evolve your way of thinking. Just remain static and stagnant as long as possible. Never grow up. Give me that damn health. No, I overshot it. I have to pixel tap it in. Okay. Peter Pan Doom. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go to school. Alright, there's, every closet opens. Will I get out of this one? Or will I just cheat? Yeah, I'm just gonna cheat. Fuck that. That was... Let's take 2 on that. And if I fuck it up again, then I will pay the price. But I do not want to subject all you to me replaying this level for any length of time. See, if I was smart, that's what I would have done from the start. Oh, here come the specters. Alright. Here's what I should have done. Not that! I'm on a roll. Okay. Okay, let them come to me. And if everything's gone according to plan, I haven't alerted the guys over there yet. If I can send this rocket, hit that barrel. Alrighty. There, got it on the first try, everybody. You didn't see shit. I think he was stuck in the wall. I don't think he had any recourse for that. Computer station. I'm picturing the map in my head right now, like I said earlier. Oh, yeah, this one. Okay. Ooh, yeah, the full screen is loving this map. Man, I could not dodge that fireball because I was like, I was in the door that was behind me, so I was like trapped in like a space. But watching that come at me for like 4 fucking seconds. It is so tricky to line up shots at this speed. I don't know if that needs to be said. I don't know if you can just kind of figure that one out for yourselves collectively, but in case it needs to be said. Who would message me at a time like this? It's certainly not my work. Give me 2 seconds to see what they have to say. Ooh, I could drive 20 fucking miles and pick up a few more hours if I wanted to. Ooh, tempting offer, but I'm gonna have to pass because I do not like commuting. As much as I love working with kids, that is the day job, that is the hustle. I do not love it enough to drive 20 miles in a given direction to hang out with one I've never met before in like a sterile clinic environment. Video game being asked, were load times an issue with the 3DO version? I just remember the 3DO was a disc-based console, whereas most of the other portions around this time were cartridge-based. My guess is no, because the level data itself was so tightly compressed in like streaming assets. I think like 90% of the disc allocation is like above the board, is above the line, which is to say like music and not actual game data and such. And when it comes to music, you're not loading that into memory, you're just doing straight playback. So that shit's a lot easier to queue up. Like, I know emulation is never going to be completely accurate with regards to load times, easy as you tell it, like, you know, CD speed 1x, because it won't account for, like, imperfections in a disc, or imperfections in the laser, or what have you. But I think the load times we're experiencing are, like, close enough to the ideal scenario that if all your shit was up to scratch, or not up to scratch, it's a bad word, if it was unscratched, I should say, if it was all, above board, you could expect maybe, like, a few seconds. Which is not worth hollering about when it comes to something like a Doom. I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, I was talking to Mara, and she was discussing how, like, I was talking about, you know, load times on CD games, I was talking about how I was playing something on PS3, and I'm just like, man, I wish I could emulate this so I could skip the load times on it. But my computer's not handy enough to handle PS3 emulation at an acceptable level. Anyway, she said something that really resonated with me, which is that you gotta keep load times in to keep people humble, to keep players, you know, to remind them, to keep them in their place, to make them, you know, you can't spoil them too much. They have to go, like, a little hungry for it. Let me look at the fucking map. Are the doors color-coded? Yeah, okay, yep. I need to get out there to get to the yellow door. That is over there. But that's going to be red key card. God help me. Okay, I need to... Wait, no. This will be easier if it's fluid, at least. But, oh, look at this. We're still dropping frames. We are still, even at the slowest, or at the smallest, even at the fastest and smallest, you are still encountering some unfortunate slowdown. It's just unavoidable. You can only expect so much of a system like this. I feel like I missed a beat over here. That has to be what happened. There has to be something in this... there we go. So I'll tell you what, let's talk, you and I. That's right, I'm talking to you, personally. Forget all these other people in the room. So what if I did more spontaneous streams like this? You know, because it's taken longer and longer to put these stupid articles out, and I'd like to put out something in that interim. And every time I talk about getting back into streaming, I think my problem is that I overthink it. I way overthink it. And I want to do, like, these really tightly produced streams. Well, what I should really do, at some point, is just embrace laziness, truth be told. I should just say, like, just play a game and talk, and people will show up. Oh, I fucked up, because I need this down. Thank you. Now let me on, because what I need to do here is run off the edge to there. Someone joking in the chat saying cast VTuber when. Hardy har har. I don't know. I don't want to... Obviously, I'm not going to get in front of a camera. I think that shit, beyond just, you know, my dysphoria. I think it's just also really distracting. And, you know, eventually, at some point, the same goes for VTuber rigs, right? I want the games to speak for themselves. That's not shade against anyone who VTubes. I know some VTubers. Bless their hearts. But for me, it's just like the game is the focus. The game should occupy most of the screen, if not all of it. Chat is already, like, distracting enough. The reason why I even have chat up on there is so that it gets archived for, like, YouTube or what have you. Because I do like to read the messages. I do like to go back and see if there's messages I missed, or if I read something out loud with and forget to say who said it, if I forget to attribute it in the moment, I'd like to have that record of it. But, I don't know. I'm making some rookie mistakes right now. What I need to do is... Wait, no, this didn't... It's that one room. I need to get back to that one room. Death Ferret pointing out that the game should fill out most of the screen is ironic right now. Yeah, well, you know, what the fuck can you do? How the fuck do I get back to that room? You know, okay, here's my excuse. I have a built-in excuse for this. I should leverage it. Is that, you know, if this was on PC, and I had the benefit of, like, knowing what the fuck I was doing, what the fuck I was playing, and just, like, being more familiar with it, and not having these textures all compressed down to, you know, this game is for fucking ants, you know? Then I'd have a bit more familiarity. I'd remember more, like, where I've been, what I've done. But you lose so many of the landmarks when you play a game at this kind of resolution. Right? Am I right? Tell me I'm right. Yes, Cass, you are correct. Everything you say and do is correct. That's why we pledge ourselves to you eternally. See, I've already got the VTuber persona down. I'd be tsundere, as the kids say. That's not really tsundere, is it? I guess tsundere is more just... that's soon enough. I'm talking like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I think it's fun to have an ego. Truth be told. And I have backed down from it a bit. In past lives, in past incarnations on the internet. I took it to logical extremes, let's say. I definitely took it too far in the joke cult of personality thing. But, you know, I've tried to strike a happier balance. But it's just so fun to play the heel. It's so much more fun to be, like, the villain. To treat fans with contempt, with open contempt. So I miss it a little bit, you know? So you'll see me, like, do it on occasion, but just know I could be a lot more insufferable if I felt like I could get away with it. To your rail car. Everyone says, oh, you should be a VTuber. Like, that shit doesn't cost as much as a fucking 3DL. Well, you see, the thing is, you make that money back. It's an investment in your future. I had a client of mine, my job, ask me what the appeal of VTubers was, and, quote, if all VTuber fans are simps. And I'm like, yes. Yes, you've got it. It's not necessarily true. It's, I just did not have the energy to talk to a 16-year-old about the finer points of VTuber culture and how women seduce these men. Mega Driver should got these high-res state-of-the-art graphics. You're goddamn right. We are here playing 3DO Doom, the finest, the cutting edge. And I am lost in the sauce right now. There's some secret door here, right? Is my Doom map knowledge... Is it one that you shoot? I'm just gonna grunt my way. I think there's something like where the ceiling comes down. Ah, whatever, who cares? Oh, I realized that it's been an hour and 30 minutes, and I have not told the story of this game's development yet, and the details I gleaned from Rebecca Ann Heineman in interviewing her, like I promised I would earlier. Oh, whoops! And, you know, we've lost half the viewers since then, but, you know, it is what it is. So, Art Data Interactive, run by the pedophile Randy Scott. Randy Scott found a religion at a certain point, and he used this to get in good with some church groups and to do some church fundraising so he could open a video game publishing studio. The first thing he did with Art Data Interactive's money is that he funded development of Rise of the Robots. And even though Art Data Interactive didn't publish a 3DO version of that, they had a financial hand in it, so you'll see Randy Scott's name in the credits of that game. But after that, after establishing himself in the industry for, you know, however much that move is worth, the next step in his plan was to get the rights to Doom. Which he did. He purchased the rights from id to publish a 3DO version. And then he would... and the 3DO company wanted this, by the way. The 3DO company was looking for someone who would front the money to get the Doom IP to put Doom on consoles, because the 3DO company really wanted to have Doom on consoles. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's fucking Doom. Right, so Randy Scott starts a promotional machine for the game. And in addition to the game being Doom on 3DO... sorry, if you didn't... Anyone else knows the Joker in the top right? I'm the Joker, baby! I forget half the shit I put in the top right corner, but I know there's some bangers in there. I know there's some fun stuff in there, so... where was I? Right, so Art Data Interactive starts the promotional machine. They start talking about how not only is this going to be Doom on 3DO, but it's going to have new weapons and new levels, and it's going to be even bigger and badder than the original Doom. There's one problem with this. Randy Scott was not a programmer. Art Data Interactive did not have programmers. They do not have anyone on the staff who's capable of actually making games. And so what this effectively means is that they're promoting something that they're not even working on at this point, and they're doing this for months. And all the while, all the 3DO magazines, there are a few of them, are like, we're gonna get this crazy fucking version of Doom, it's gonna be sick! And there's even like some Japanese 3DO magazine where Randy Scott makes an on-camera appearance on like a disc, compilation of demos and whatnot and preview materials, and he's holding the Doom source code in his hand, or he's holding like, this is the prototype, this is Doom, it's in progress. It's gonna be on your 3DOs, it's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna send you to hell so you can kill demons, so on and so forth, you know, as a promotional machine does. But again, nothing is actually happening. There is no actual substance or material to any of these claims being made. So the 3DO company sends someone to Art Data Interactive to see what the progress was. To see like how the game is coming along, because they have a release date they want to hit. They want to get it in time for Christmas. And so they're asking Art Data Interactive, you know, like, how far along is it? Art Data Interactive is saying, oh, we're so far, it's so good, you won't believe how much progress we made. So they finally get a person in there to see it, and they're like, this is just the source code to... This is just Doom on a PC. This is, you literally just showing us, like, the source code for the PC version. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna put it on disc, though. And this is when the 3DO company realizes they're dealing with a true fucking moron. They don't know he's a pedophile yet. He hasn't been convicted of sexually assaulting a minor yet. But they know they're dealing with a real dumbass at this point. How do I open this door? Oh, there's a switch back here. So that's when the 3DO company contacts Rebecca Heineman, who is a code goddess, self-proclaimed, and she is absolutely fucking correct to say this. She had a history already of taking games that no one thought would work and making them work, like getting Another World, Out of This World to run on the fucking Apple II GS. And just like, she has a reputation for fixing things. And so they tell her, Becky, we have one in store for you today. Can you fucking make Doom for the 3DO, and can you do it in 10 weeks? And she's like, sure, just show me what they have so far. Well, here's the thing. So she goes to Art Data Interactive. She's like, oh, you motherfuckers. What do you have me doing here? Randy Scott starts making demands. Oh, we're up to E1M8, by the way. It only took us an hour and a half. Wait, hold on. Let's turn the screen size back up. I don't need my frames anymore. Oh, yes! Oh, that's so good. So Randy Scott starts making demands like, hey, we have these FMVs we want you to put in the game. And sure enough, this is a story, this is a scoop, by the way, that they did, in fact, film FMVs with live-action actors intended to be placed in the game. But according to Becky, what happened was that after they were filmed, the production company that had been hired to shoot them, that had like the footage on hand, they asked to get paid for their work, and Randy Scott said no. And so they took the footage and took it home with them, and that's how we only have the few production stills of the game. So there's been misnomer that the footage was never actually filmed, that all that existed was the production stills. And I think Rebecca at some point even perpetuated that just because she wasn't fully privy to it. But with the record corrected, that footage does exist somewhere. Those film reels are in some salt mine somewhere. The other thing that Randy Scott asked Rebecca to do was to put new guns in the game. And luckily, they had made some work on this. They had some progress made on this. Because they had shown all the magazines footage of these new guns in action. Turns out what those pictures were Photoshops of the guns onto existing Doom screenshots. And it was legitimately Randy Scott's belief, according to Rebecca, that all you need to do to program a game is drag and drop files. That the only thing that should have been needed for all these new guns to go into Doom was for her to take the image files that she was provided, drag and drop them into Doom, and they would just work. Needless to say, this is not how game development works. I don't know if anyone here needs that lesson reinforced. I'm doing this fight the completely wrong way, by the way. I just don't trust the frame rate enough. So I'm doing this a very slow and methodical way where I let the Barons sit in there, spawn for a minute. And let's establish some distance. Oh, they're infighting. I should probably just let them infight, but... Ooh, God. Anyway, this is what I was saving the rockets for. I know there's been some messages in the chat too, and there's been some good ones too with that. But oh man, let me get that damn sphere. Let me get that. Come on, babe, let me get that sphere. Just there we go. That was a tricky bit of collision. Anyway, the long short of the rest of it, I'll get into more detail when I write the article. Because there are a few more details, pertinent details, but key takeaway is that Rebecca managed to get it done 10 weeks. In that time, Randy Scott and his friend were in a band. She got them to record the music because the Atari Jaguar source code that she got from Doom, it worked, but she couldn't get the sound drivers working in time for the game, so she just did the CD audio as like a bit of a hack, effectively. But, hey, it fucking worked, and it's the most notable, memorable thing about the game, apparently, besides these frame rates. I'm getting a request to jib myself. One more. There you go. For all you sickos out there. Yeah, I think that's new to this, to the console versions of the game. I know there's like the one pain face in DOS Doom that never doesn't show up properly, that's flagged improperly, but it's been an hour and a half. We cleared one episode in an hour and a half. That might be good enough for me for right now. I'll show you where I'm at in. This is where I'm at in the playthrough I was doing personally and grabbing footage for. But, Maybe we'll pick this back up again later. This music is rocking, though. Maybe I will finish playing Doom on stream another night. But, about an hour and a half of this is all I can take in one sitting. But there's, like, still a good 25 minutes left, and I'm sure I could fill that out with something. What else is good to play? What else is fun that I could pull up on a whim? Super Monkey Daiboken? Well, I'll give you credit. You know, you recommended it. And it's something we did an article on recently. So, you know, why not? Let's see how quickly I can get through. Ooh, no, I don't like that stretching. I don't like that 4x3. No siree. Edit transform. There we go. Sorry, I like my pixel aspect ratio. Yeah, let's play the Japanese version too while we're at it. Let's see if I can clear this in one sitting. Let's see if the memory remains. This is Super Monkey Daiboken. Article up on the site. A proper journey to the west. I'm just doing this purely from memory. I'm not even gonna bring up a map for this. It may not look like I'm attacking, but I am attacking. Tatir Railcard. I heard this game's not actually bad. I think it would be better if there were skateboards around that we could pick up to go faster. Then there's a novel idea. And I don't hate this game. I give it like a 3 out of 5. I wrote all about it in the article, all about the development of this and the legacy thereof. There's still folk in Japan who hold this game with some amount of reverence? Death Ferret saying, yeah, I think someone wrote an article recently suggesting it wasn't that bad at all. Yeah, and if I catch that nerd, if I find that loser who wrote that, boy howdy, they are in for... I'm gonna break their glasses and I'm gonna dump their books on the school floor. Am I gonna lose my dragon friend because I... No. Wow, someone wrote a whole article with their opinion, or with that opinion, that nobody's gonna read what they write ever again. God willing! There should be a house here. Yes. And if I go north a few more steps, I bet you I'll get my pig friend. No idea what that says. I could have loaded up the English translation if I wanted to, if I thought I had to, but... This is Hakayo? Or not... Hakio? It's the pig guy saying, please help me. This is Kenon Shao. I don't know if it's Kenon Chao. I think it's the starting area. I think it's like some Shanshao. It's something along those lines. I can't remember, but it's a Chinese province. It's the long short of what I'm trying to say here. It is the city in which Journey to the West begins. Left down or left up? I'm gonna see a rock wall, and I'll know when I see the rock wall whether it's which direction I need to go in. I looked at my stream for a second to see the Happy Easter Xbox Usher clip in the top right corner. Again, I forget what I put in there, but it's all good. Left down. Okay. Wait, no, that's not right. I gotta go up. Ugh. Wish I hadn't triggered another random encounter. These things are more trouble than they're worth. Though there is some sort of secret to this, though, apparently. That I covered in the article. There's some exploit that I never actually tried while I was writing the article. But apparently there is some way to, like, eliminate enemies from the screen by cleverly hitting the start button at the same time as something else. But that's never how I played this game. I always just... The only exploit I've ever really used has been the, walk through walls trick. Alright, we take this left until I see... that, then it's up, then it's right. This is usually where I get hit with the day-to-night transition. Yeah, there we go, on cue, baby. That's how fucking well committed to memory I have this fucking game. That said, I don't remember if I go left or right here. But there's an invisible tile. It's right. Okay. Invisible teleport over here. And then there's a mandatory fight here. That was me transforming, by the way, and you can see that clone. That was me trying the cheat that I had heard about. I hit start again. So yeah, there you go. Oh, I'm sorry, I just got a message, y'all, from Retarget Gaming. Want to become famous? Buy followers and viewers on some shady URL. We're about to hit the big time, motherfuckers. Let's go to a city. Let's take a stop here. I think this is the only city in the game that doesn't give you a password when you enter into it. Most cities, when you enter them, give you like an ABA, AB, and that's like a code you can press on the title screen in order to warp to pre-designated points in the game. This is the wrong way. But I do need that food and drink. When you have 1 million totally legit followers, remember us little people who were here from the start. Oh, I'm forgetting about you, like in no time, Prano. I mean, people who actually care about, like, you know, the content and are sentient and have, like, free will and thought and aren't just machines. Like, what's the point in that? Like, what is the value in that? Let's try that phone sheet again. I don't even know how I did that the first time. Because I was just... Maybe it's select and start at the same time? I'll read up on that later, and I will. In the meantime, enjoy this fucking riveting fight. I like this game, but I could leave the combat. And in a game of take or leave, I will leave. What I want to do is, I want to go this way just so I can get... What's-his-face in the party? I hope you don't mind that I haven't explained this game at all, by the way. I just assume that y'all have read the article, right? You're just morbidly curious to see me actually play this game for a little bit. That is not the right way. In fact, let's rewind and see if I can avoid that fight by just going this way. Yes, there we go. There's our little Kappa friend. You know, it's I figure I'm allowed to do that for a little bit. Alright, this is down left. And this is the kind of map knowledge that comes from genuinely having played this game, like way before I wrote that article on it. From having appreciated this for a while now. Even before it had the English translation available, so... I could go this way. I could go the way I'm supposed to go, but you know what? Wow, how'd you do that, Cass? Thank you for the drink. I was very thirsty. Oh, you know what? This is perfect. I think because there's a gate to the left here. If I remember correctly, which is the way we need to go, but it just turned to daytime. Which means that the gate's gonna close on us. And we would have to wait in real time for it to become night again, if we wanted to play the game legitimately. Oh wait, no, this isn't? The gate area? You know, I think I walked through the wrong wall over there because I legitimately confused myself as to where we are right now. Well, I'm just gonna continue doing this, and eventually we will get back on some sort of track. I was also completely planning from the start to avoid that shitty maze in the top left corner of the screen. You won't catch me dead playing that fucking maze, trying to solve an NES labyrinth. I have a lot of patience for these games, these sorts of games of this ilk, but I do not have patience for fucking mazes. These fights are the worst. Fights against flying enemies are the absolute dog worst. For obvious reasons, for reasons that should be apparent right now. Oh, come on! Oh, thank Christ, okay. Is this where the gate is? Got about 12 minutes left that I'm willing to stream for. Let's see if we can finish the game. I need to find the perfect loop. There we go. You gotta get into a perfect rhythm when it comes to the attack things I have in vulnerable states. When it works like a charm. Oh man, you know how I could play is I could just cheat all my way to the ending. I could just beat this in the next 12 minutes. Unless I'm coming at the flaming mountains from the wrong angle and it will drain my health, possibly. Then I'm fucked. No, wait, this should be Princess Iron Fan. No, this is an empty house. Shit! Man, I really threw everything off when I deviated from the track that I know. Oh, if only there was some way to get to... Oh, how do you manage that, Cassidy? Skills, that's how. I know as I go further southwest, eventually I'm going to find what I'm looking for. Which is a stray house out here. Ah! No, let's not get killed just yet. So yeah, you know, we're winding down, one way or another. So I will say that I will come back at some point in the coming days. Maybe as soon as tomorrow, I don't know. I have a little bit of free time in coming days. I have a client who's sick. That's really the impetus for today, is that my afternoon kiddo that I work with took ill. So I am short on work hours, which means that I get some fucking time to myself for a change. So, you know, sorry for the kiddo, but ultimately, Cass needs some time off. I won't get into specifics, but let's just say that, you know, working with kiddos is a great job. It's a fucking great gig. It's very fulfilling. I can't imagine myself doing much of anything else at this point in my life, but it can be exhausting. It can just be socially exhausting to spend the majority of your day with kids. It's so sometimes you just gotta treasure that time off in whatever form it comes from, whatever form it comes in. There's stop skeletons from fighting. Hey Derek and/or Grace, whoever is there. Yeah, you caught us at the tail end. We're wrapping at the moment, but at a certain point, I got a little, we cleared the first episode, at least. Ab. But, you know, we'll get back to Doom 3DO at some point. I do want to clear that entire game on stream just to show that I could do it. Oh, I don't want to do this random encounter. Is there any way to avoid this? Can I cheat a little bit? There we go. No! You're really gonna make me do this, huh? Super Monkey Doomboken. It's the crossover we've all been waiting for, truly. It's the WAD that's hottest on Doom World at the moment. Did I mention that the flying enemies in this game can suck me on the deck? At the risk of being vulgar, at the risk of being absolutely juvenile. Derek Andrew Grace saying working with kids is exhausting. Hey, N-Gage research is hard work. That's right. I was in those trenches with you, you know. You know, between working with kids, trying to build a future for them, trying to assist them, and researching the N-Gage, I'd say those are equally difficult tasks. I don't want to do this fight either. Let's see. Let me just cheat again, because I don't think I can get random encounters when I'm walking through walls. Oh, that's... Well, there we go. Shows that I know. Let's tidy this up. I bet I can still make it to the end of the game in the next 5 minutes. That is my goal, to do a tight 2-hour stream, not waste any more time than that, and deliver you a video game ending. I am mashing a key right now to try and get the game to pause. Oh, there we go. perfect. And we did it legit. You ready for some really exciting footage, folks? I am mashing the select button right now. But because the frame timing is so busted in this game, because inputs in general are so busted, where it only recognizes inputs on every nth frame, where I could not tell you what number nth represents, you get awesome situations like this. Man, I really picked an exciting closer for tonight. We had fun with Radio Doom, though, right? So it's only natural that we were having too much fun with it. And that's the Bad Game Hall of Fame promise, is that when I notice you're enjoying yourselves a little too much, we slow it down. We take a step back, and we reevaluate. Is this where I can cross the river, or is this the end of the map? Yeah, this is the end of the map, which means somewhere around here. And there shouldn't be any random encounters on this island either. They throw you a bone when you make it to this part of the map, for a reason you will see shortly. Or am I in the right island? Do I need to head due south a little more? As long as I'm here, I might be able to trigger the final boss encounter too while I'm here. Oh, I'm gonna be disappointed if I don't actually finish this. At least you're getting this awesome music that does not get grating at all after like the 40th minute mark. What is that odd square there? It's not a teleport tile at the very least. I'm not unearthing any unseen secrets in this. No, all this game's unseen secrets have already been readily revealed. I mean, once you find a developer message where the developer gives his name, address, and age, and says that he wants to fuck a woman, and that he's looking for any hotties who might have hacked the cartridge to hit him up, I think that's pretty much like you've dug as deep as you're gonna dig into a game at that point. But, you know, at the same time, I mentioned that tidbit about this game, but you know, it's not the only thing I want this game to be remembered for, so I'm contributing kind of to its own, to the furthering of that legend and of the obfuscation of any other details about this game, because, you know, that's the thing with the Bad Game Hall of Fame. I don't want games to be one note. I feel like, you know, games that have like one notable thing or like one like bad feature, ill-advised decision, and it comes to define them for the rest of time is not necessarily, you know, fair to these games. But I can see why people latch onto that with Super Monkey Daiboken. It occurs to me that we have 2 minutes left. I'm so close. Can I find this stupid city? Come on, win one for the Cassidy. Might be further due south. Again, if I had just played the game the way it's supposed to be played, I could have probably made it to this point in real time. But I think I slowed it down by being cute and trying to cheat in this. So I'll just close now while we search, while we play hide and seek with an Indian city. Thanks for watching, y'all. Ah, there it is. The ending's in sight. We will return with more impromptu streams. We'll also return with writing in the near future. We have 2 articles in the pipeline, those being Elf Bowling the Movie and 3DO Doom, as seen earlier in this stream. They're both going to be interesting. I'm more interested in writing Doom 3DO, truth be told, but Elf Bowling the movie won a poll, so I am committed to it. This is where my real contempt for the fans comes out. This is where I... but yeah, Doom 3DO will be very interesting, and Elf Bowling the movie review will be a movie review up on the website. If anything, you know, hopefully it'll reignite an interest in Elf Bowling, and then maybe I'll point people to that old article again. It'll be a good advertisement for an article I wrote 3 years ago. And, you know, I gotta do something Christmassy, right? That's the game over screen, by the way. It's and let me get a cast wins. Yeah. Well earned. So thank you for showing up. Expect more eventually. And I don't have anything else to say really. Check out Stop Skeletons from Fighting stuff coming soon. I've contributed to, if they're still around. I would not blame Derek and Grace for ducking out by this point. Super Monkey Die Bookin' is only so exciting. It's only so watchable. But, yeah, and then this week, I think Friday, if you subscribe to Indiepocalypse, the indie magazine, the premier indie magazine, I should have an article on Trespasser Jurassic Park in it, which I put some work into and should be a pretty fun read. It's pretty brief. I eventually will do a proper Trespasser article, but you can get some idea of how that article might read from the monthly I do. But I'm not going to waste any more of y'all's this time. Plug in away. I'll have a good night for now. Bye!